Hello friends. How are you guys? I hope you all are doing fine and you are studying every day. In the previous lecture, we finished off the oligopoly. We discussed its last model, which was Bertrand's model, and we just finished the oligopoly full with the numericals. Okay, guys. So now, as I told you earlier, we are going to start game theory. It is a very interesting topic, game theory. Okay guys, so game theory. So there are some basic terms related to this topic which we will be knowing at first, so that you get cleared off from the basic terms which will be used afterwards in this topic. Okay guys. So first of all, what is game? So a game is an abstract model of strategic situation in which player makes strategic decisions. Like there can be any game, like if you see, like we can consider chess as a game, and both the players play their strategic moves according to the action of others. They just react with the actions of others, and and strategic decision implies that the participants take into consideration the impact of each other's actions, reactions, and counteractions. Right? You can relate it from chess also. Okay, guys. So this is game. So now a game has three elements. Okay. So the first one is players. There should be players to play a game. So a player is a participant in a game with respect to choosing a particular course of action. Like a player is a participant who choose a particular course of action while playing the game, right? Everyone has different strategy, so each player has different strategic decisions of himself, that how they play the game. Like Virat Kohli has different style, Shane Warne has different style. So similarly, each player has some different strategy to play the game. So it is also assumed that each player has necessary skill to choose the best course of action. That means that they are rational, right guys? Because they have the necessary skill to choose the best course of action given the constraint, right? Like if I move the rook in the chess, so I have the necessary skill. If my opponent move the rake to somewhere or play any move, so I have that necessary skill to choose what should I move now, so that I will be better off and win the game. Okay, but this is not that chess type of game. I am just giving you the example. Don't relate with it, just I'm giving you the example to just brief you out. Okay, so first was players, so second is strategies. So strategy is very much important in any game to win the game, or to have the outcome which have the from which you better off. Okay guys, so strategy is an action plan for playing the game, right? So strategy may be a simple action or complex action plan. It can be simple one or it can be complex one, that may be dependent on earlier action and reaction of the player. Like if I play the simple move, the reaction can be simple. I can also play simple move if I thought that it won't be any complex, it won't create any complex situation for me. And if the player is very good and he is playing complex moves, so I will also play accordingly. So I will play my best. These are the strategy. It's an action plan, that what are you going to play. It's your action plan, that how are you going to play and what are you going to play. Okay, so we assume that players are rational, that is taking into consideration the entire set of action, reaction and counter action of their own decision. Like in chess, I'm taking the chess example again and again. So like in chess, you know that you know the entire set of action, that if I move this, it will happen. If I move this, it can be the reaction of the another opponent may be this. He can be of advantage of from this, like you know that your action, you obviously know your action, but you also know the reaction of the firm, that if I do this, you can expect a reaction like this only. Okay, and also counter action, that what he will actually play. Okay, so each participant believe that the rival is rational. Okay, so both are rational, like my competitor is also rational and I am also rational, and shall be taking decisions to maximize their payoff. Okay, so this fact shall be taken into consideration when a participant agree to choose a particular strategy. Okay, so these were some basic points. So still we have only discussed two elements. First was players, second was strategies. And what is the third element of game? So the third element is payoff. Payoff is basically the result in simple terms. And if I say it theoretically, it will be an action plan when implemented result into a payoff. Therefore, a payoff is a gain or loss that occurs to a participant, may be monetary or may be non-monetary in nature. So these were the basic things. These were the basic thing of game, and which you need to know. So I'm just writing it out. Players, strategies, and payoff. Okay, guys. So now we will do some rough work and we will make so many games so that you understand what type of game it is and how do we know what is the solution, what is the outcome. And so let's begin with the first game. So this is rough, and the more rough work you do, the more understanding you will get. So this is B, this is A. There are two players. Okay, so there are two players and there are two outcomes. He can choose X, he can choose Y, he can choose X, he can choose Y. So the outcomes are, the payoffs are -3, -3, -6, 0, 0, -6, -1, -1. It means that the first entry will be of A, and this is the simultaneous game. So if A chooses X, A chooses X, and this matrix, like if I say this, what does this rectangle mean? The grid. So this means that both A and B have chosen XX, and the result, the payoff they are getting is -3, -3. Similarly, you can see for other. Okay, so now I will show you how do we calculate the solution. So first we will see from A's point of view. Okay, so from A's point of view, A will expect what we will do and he will accordingly see what he has to do. So first we will see if B chooses X. Okay, so B has chosen X. B has chosen this X. So that means he has chosen this or this. So what do A has the choice? So A has the choice to choose either this or this. And if you see from -3 and -6, which one is better? You can see -3 is better and it has more outcome. -6 is low. So if you compare these two, -3 and -6, -3 is larger. So A will choose X if B chooses X. So this is the A's best strategy. Okay. So again, now we will see if B chooses Y, then what A will do. Okay, so now B has chosen Y, B has chosen this. So now what A will do, he have to choose between 0 and -1. Which one is larger? 0, and 0 in front of X, so it is the outcome of X, it is the X outcome. So he will again choose X. So what can we find out from here? That irrespective of what B chooses, A will always go for X, right? So what you can say is now that A has dominant strategy to play X. He has a dominant strategy that whatever B will play, he will play X only. Okay, so now similarly, if you see from B's point of view, okay, so if you see from B's point of view, you have to do, now you have to see in accordance with A. If A chooses X, I am saying that if B is thinking that if A chooses X, what will I choose? Okay, so A has chosen this one, this grid. So B has chance to choose between -3 and -6. So what will B go for? Which one is larger? -3. Okay, so B will go for X. Similarly, if A chooses Y, what will B choose? A has chosen this one, this grid. So what will B choose? B has option for these two, X and Y, and which one is greater one? 0 or -1? 0, and 0 is outcome. 0 is X. He will choose X. So we can see here also that B has also dominant strategy to play X. So if you see, what is the solution? That this means that irrespective of what A will play, B will always play X, and irrespective of what B will play, A will also play X. So what is the solution? This is the solution. Okay. X comma X is the solution. But if you see here one thing, that it is not the most efficient part. The most efficient for both the players will be -1 comma -1. It is the best outcome for both. But so that's why this is not Pareto efficient. We call it Pareto efficient. I will discuss it when we will discuss the general equilibrium. Okay. So I am just now saying it is not Pareto efficient. I am not going into detail of Pareto efficiency. Okay guys, so now we move on to our second example. In the second example we will take again A, again here B, okay guys. So again I take X comma Y, X comma Y. So now outcomes will be changed. I will take 1 comma 1, 1 comma 0, 2 comma 1 and 0 comma 4. Okay, so now we will again do the same thing which we did earlier, and we will see whether someone has dominant strategy or not. Okay, so now we will check. In the earlier question both A and B has dominant strategy to choose X. Now we will see in this question whether they have or not. So from A's point of view, first from A's point of view, if B chooses X, what will A choose? B has chosen X. So B has chosen X, that he has chosen this outcome. So what will A choose? In if he is given, he has only two choice to play. So what will he choose from X and Y? So you can see here 2 is greater than 1. So he has more benefit in choosing Y when B chooses X. So he will choose Y. Now I will see if B chooses Y. B has chosen Y now. So now you can see A has to choose between 1 and 0. What A will choose? 1 obviously. So A will choose X. Okay. So you can see here A has no dominant strategy. By changing the payoffs, you can see that the dominant strategy has changed now. Now the A has no dominant strategy just by changing the payoffs. Okay. So now similarly we will see in point of view of B. If A chooses X, B will prefer what B will prefer. If A has chosen X, B has choice of 1 and 0. What B will choose? B will obviously go for 1 and 0. That means B will also prefer X. Similarly, if A chooses Y, okay, so if A chooses Y, then what will B choose? A has chosen Y, this one. So what will B choose in between 1 and 4? Obviously 4 is greater than 1 and 4 is the payoff of Y, so B will choose Y. So again you can see it's not same, so no dominant strategy. So now if I take the similar question and I have to check whether it has a Nash equilibrium or not, so what do we do now? So in simple words, if I tell you what is Nash equilibrium, it is like each player is doing its best they can given the action of its opponent. So okay, so it means that each player anticipate what its opponent will do and then decide to choose the best possible action. Okay guys, so I will tell you how to calculate Nash and how do we know that whether this game has Nash or this game does not have Nash. So it's very easy. You have to just remember the pattern for Nash checking. Okay, so if A chooses X, you have already seen that B chooses X. So now what you have to do, now you have to put B here downstairs. If B chooses X, he knows the outcome now. If B chooses X, now what will A choose? A will choose Y. You can see if B chooses X, A will choose Y. You have already. So are they equal? They are not equal. So that means no Nash. But we cannot just say from one time. You have to see from both the sides. This we have done when A chooses X at first. Okay, so now we will do similar for the when A chooses Y. So for dominant strategy, you have to see this 2 times. For Nash, you have to see 4 times. Okay, you can directly see from here also, but in the starting session, I am telling you to do from the full basic. Okay, so write full in the starting. Otherwise, you can just there is some underline formula also which we will be discussing for calculating Nash. But now I won't tell you. So we will go with the full theory so that you know what is happening with you. So if A chooses Y, B chooses Y, you can see from here, and if same here, B chooses Y, now what will A choose? If B chooses Y, A will choose X. So are they equal again? No. So no Nash. Okay, so now similarly we will see in respect of B. If B chooses X, A chooses Y, you can see from here. Now we will write here, if A chooses Y, same, this both to be same always. Now if they both came equal, like if X would come here, then there will be Nash, otherwise there is no Nash. So you can see if A chooses Y, B chooses Y. Not equal, so no Nash. Similarly, now check for Y. If B chooses Y, you can see from the above diagram, above this also statement, if B chooses Y, A will choose X. And if A chooses X, B will choose X. Are they equal? Not equal. So no Nash at all. So this is the game in which there is no dominant strategy, neither there is a Nash equilibrium in this game. Okay guys, so now we will check whether this game has Nash or not. We will check. So if I want to check from this game only, I'll tell you how to check whether they have Nash or not. Okay, I will tell you the underline method now, but first we can just see from this only. We can check from here only. Okay, so first we take, if B chooses X, A chooses X, and in the second thing, what we do? We write same thing here. So same thing here, if A chooses S, B chooses X. So are they same? They are same. So that means we have first Nash. This is our first Nash. Similarly, if we will check for Y. If B chooses Y, that means it is our first Nash. Okay. So if now we will see for B. If B chooses Y, A chooses X. Now we will write A chooses X here, A chooses X is right here, and if A chooses X, B choose Y. So are they equal? So that means it is not a Nash. Okay. Similarly, you can check from A also, and if you check from A, you will get this only. If A chooses X, B chooses X, and B chooses X, then also A chooses X. So this is the only Nash equilibrium in this game. So if we had to just calculate Nash from the given game, we can directly calculate from the underline method also. I am teaching you the underline method also. I can teach you here only. So this is X. I'm just copying again. A, B, minus 3 comma minus 3, 0 comma minus 6, minus 6 comma 0, minus 1 comma minus 1. So this is the underline method which I will be teaching you. This is just the shortcut. Okay, so you can just clearly see from the diagram, if A chooses X. Okay, so A chooses X, what will B choose? You can see from here also, if A chooses X, what will B choose here? A chooses X, what will B choose? B will choose X. So you can write one underline here also when B chooses X. Similarly, if A chooses Y, what will B choose? B will again, if A chooses Y, what will B choose? B will choose again Y. This is Y. So put one underline here. Okay. Now we will see in point of view of B. So if B chooses X, what will A choose? A will choose X. So now we put underline here. And if B chooses Y, A will choose X. If B chooses Y, A will choose X. So can you see where are two underlines? Only here. This we have two underlines. So this is our Nash. This is just the shortcut. Okay guys. This is the only Nash in this game. So now we will see one game where there is no dominant strategy for both, but there are two Nash equilibrium. Okay. So the game is like, there is one wife and she has the choice of movie or concert. Then here comes the husband. He has also the choice of same movie and concert. Husband. Okay, so what are their payoffs? Payoff are like this: 0 0 0 0 1 comma 2. Okay, so now we will do the same thing. We will first see from the husband point of view. If wife chooses movie, W for wife, M for movie. Okay, so what will husband choose? Husband will also choose movie. If wife choose movie, husband will also choose movie, because 2 is greater than 0. Okay, and if wife chooses concert, husband will also choose concert. You can easily see 1 is greater than 0. Similarly, if you see, that means there is no dominant strategy for husband. Similarly, if you see for wife, if H chooses M, then wife will also choose M, and if H chooses concert, wife will also choose concert. So no dominant strategy for wife also. But there are two Nash equilibrium in this game. So the first Nash is that if wife chooses movie, or you can start from husband. If husband chooses movie, wife chooses movie, and we write the same thing here. If wife chooses movie with his wife, husband also choose movie. So this is our first Nash. Okay, and if husband chooses concert, wife chooses concert, and if wife chooses concert, husband also chooses concert. This is also Nash. So this is also, if you see by underline method, you can clearly underline from this also. If wife chooses movie, husband chooses movie. If wife chooses concert, husband also choose concert. If husband choose movie, wife choose movie, and here same. So you can see there are two underlines under these two ways. So there will be two Nash also. There can be 0 Nash, there can be 2 Nash, there can be 1 Nash. So guys, the lecture is over now. In the next class we will discuss the game theory and prisoner's dilemma. So thank you guys for watching. Have a nice day and study daily and study hard. Okay guys, thank you.